Welcome back, everyone. Another edition, Pat's Travel Pass. We're taking you on United Domestic First Class comparison between the first row and the last row of the cabin. Come join us. Like I mentioned in previous videos, United's app is one of the best in the industry. I love this feature here where you can actually see exactly where your gate was. For us, we're back in Terminal 2, which is very out of place for United domestic flights. I realized that you could go in through Terminal 3, United's hub here in San Francisco, to get through security and bag check and actually connect on airside to Terminal 2. I went straight to Terminal 2 as I didn't know this and was able to get through security just fine, only to realize I could have avoided the extra 10 minutes of walking. But we're here at a gate D15, similar to where we took Alaska to check out their short haul and long haul service. We're on a 737 today, and you can see here, can't leave my house without my Dramamine. I do get motion sickness, but we are in seat 1A. So for this flight from San Francisco to LA, it's about 1 hour of flying time. We're going to be in the very front seat to check out how the bulkhead and no one in front of you, the drink service, compares to our flight home from LA to SFO in the very last row to see which one really compares. If you have any preferences, where should you sit? But yeah, it should be a good one. So starting out here with a pre-departure beverage of orange juice. As I said, we are in Terminal 2, so a little shorter taxiway this morning, but plenty of action on the ramp, including this Max 8 over here, actually Max 9 to the left of us. Flight Radar 24, best app in the game. If you don't have it, you gotta go get it. Being United Domestic First Class, I did get to board in Group 1 along with many of United's elites. One thing being in the front row, I barely had any space for my bags. I actually had to go all the way to the last row of first class cabin to put my bag up and then swim upstream. So if this is something you don't feel comfortable with, I would recommend sitting towards the back of the cabin. That was Hawaiian's brand new 787-9 Dreamliner. I really hope to get on and try that product. I've seen a couple reviews so far and it looks like a total upgrade from their A330 and A321 service. But here you go, double takeoff out of SFO, one of the rarities on airports across the US. I always am trying to bet who's gonna take off first, who rolled first, but it's just such a great view to see it at SFO specifically. After that sweet takeoff out of SFO, we turned left towards the city and back around the Monterey coast. Like I said, we had about an hour flight time, and so we had to really test out what the food and drink service could be like in the front seat, because you are served first. So I started out with sparkling water. I did say sparkling wine, as this was a morning flight, but the guy next to me said, oh, I'll have sparkling water too, and that's how I ended up with a drink I didn't really want in the beginning. Didn't really want to create a fuss about it, but that does count as number one. And then looking at the in-flight entertainment, United has one of the best when it comes to movies and videos, but with such a short flight, I just wanted to check out our speed and our altitude, that outside temperature, tailwind. but their app is really useful. I usually put it on my iPad or phone and then play a game or watch a movie on the other. We also got a choice of snack. I went with Skinny Pop, and on to drink number 2 in the middle of the flight with sparkling wine, so I finally got what I wanted. And just like that, we're already on our descent, and here we go with number 3 on the sparkling wine. So I was able to snag 3 drinks in a sub-hour flight, being in 1A. We'll have to see how row 3 on their A319 compares. Here are great views of downtown LA. It's always an awesome approach in as you go towards downtown and then flip a U-turn and then come right back in. Now, luckily, we landed on 25 left on the southern side of the airport, as is United's terminal. If you land on the north runways, it is such a long taxi, so considering I had an international flight out of LAX that you'll see in an upcoming review, I was happy to see that the taxi would be short. But just to recap this flight, we were served first. We had a lot of extra legroom because of the bulkhead. The armrest does come from the side like all seats. It is quieter from a lot of people behind you in economy. The only thing that I really don't like is that the backpack situation, I had to put it all the way in the back row instead of at my feet and then swim upstream. But I did like being on the left side of the aisle, as I am right-handed, so I can grab drinks being in the window across my seatmate with my dominant hand, so it felt a little bit more comfortable. And then there's no one in front of us, so I really like the extra leg space. It feels like plenty. But okay, so how much did I pay for this flight? I previously had a different flight that was a little bit more and changed my plan, so I had $180 worth of credit, and so I used that for this flight. Economy was $139, so I thought for the $40 I'd rather be the first one off the plane as well as get a little bit to drink. But here you go, the In-N-Out off of Sepulveda, just north of LAX, is the best plane spotting that you can find. We got heavies, we got narrow bodies, it is awesome. You gotta go. And now we're back at LAX after my 2-week Europe trip, which will be featured in upcoming reviews. We're in seat 3F, which is the last row of our Airbus 319 in their brand new seats. On the previous flight, we were in their more worn down seats, but these are the brand new ones. No pre-departure beverage, so that was kind of interesting. But right out of LAX with 5 A380s right there at Tom Bradley. It's a great view departing this afternoon at 4 o'clock. I previously had the flight scheduled for 8 p.m. and paid $180 again, but because they changed the flight schedule, I was actually able to change to a premium time for free. But since this was an afternoon flight after a long economy flight from Europe, we went with a Jack and Coke, started with 1, now we're on number 2 with a savory snack mix while playing some hearts. We'll see if we can get to number 3 to beat or tie the front row. The new interior is pretty sweet though. These huge screens for entertainment is awesome. I could see that being really useful on a transcon flight. But as you can see here, we did make it to number 3 on another 50-minute flight back up to San Francisco. Tray table pretty sturdy, and the space was really nice. I liked being towards the back because I can put my bags where I needed to and under the seat in front of me versus having to swim back upstream. Someone being in front of you, it was a little bit tighter than I remember, at least sitting in the front. I thought we had more foot space, but I'm not too tall, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And being served last, I found out that it didn't really impact. As long as you had your drink finished by the time they came through the aisle, you could still get as many drinks as if you were in the front. So in terms of service, I thought it was fine. I think when it comes to meals, you will miss out possibly, as I've had that happen before, but overall, I would definitely go bulkhead. I think it's worth having to swim upstream for your bag, but the amount of space and being served first and being able to grab with your dominant hand out of the front left is worth it. Comment down below if you're team bulkhead or team last row. Again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.